One of my favorite dishes that I love to eat is called jjajangmyeon, which is basically black bean noodle translated in English. If you haven't tried it or if you want to try it, definitely go try it because you'll definitely like it. Hello everyone on YouTube and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite foods of all time. This is not going to be easy. This list is a little biased, of course, because these choices I've picked comes from me. But it was extremely difficult because I love mostly all foods. It's so hard just to narrow down 10 out of the many delicious foods out there. But I try my best, and for each of my selections, I will also share my thoughts and reasons of why I picked it and selected the ones that I did. So without further ado, let's begin. By the way, this list is not in chronological order or ranked or tiered in anything. It's just going to be in random orders. Also, from the previous videos, you guys know that my number one favorite food is black bean noodle or jjajangmyeon. So I won't mention that one on this list because it's already been mentioned before. So with all that being said, let's move on. So my first favorite food that I would like to introduce is called grilled barbecue eel. In Korean, I think it's called 장어구이, and I think in Japanese it's called unagi. But I will show you a picture of it right here. I think, yes, this one right here. This is absolutely delicious and scrumptious and mouth-watering to me. The flavor profile for this is like soft, tenderness, and savory. Just with this and rice will go nicely with each other, but I don't like it cold. I like it nice and warm. And even also with some side dishes if you want that extra flavor. But really, even it by itself, it's so good. And this dish is just great every single time I have it. I haven't had a bad barbecue grilled eel before, at least I hope not, or will not, hopefully. And when you just bite into it, it just melts in your mouth. I would highly recommend this if you haven't tried this before, because this is just too tasty to pass up. The second favorite food dish or item is salmon or salmon, whichever one you prefer. I just love salmon because there's a lot of things you could do with it, and it tastes so good no matter what you do. You can grill, steam, bake, broil, smoke, or poach. I can even eat salmon raw, like in sushi or in poke bowls. To me, it's very fatty and fresh to eat. It's definitely one of the most popular and well-known types of item of fish that I know of. And I know there's other types of fish meats out there in the world of fish category. It's also so delicious, which all of my food list is delicious. So I feel like I'll be like repeating myself a lot or being repetitive. So just know that all the food items or food dishes that I mentioned here on this list is all very delicious, good, and so tasty. For sure, in my personal opinion, of course. My third favorite dish that I would like to introduce to you all is called bossam, which is a type of Korean dish. And in English, it's called Korean boiled pork belly wraps. I love to eat this one because the pork meat is so tender and soft and scrumptious, but I will definitely say it sometimes gets a little slightly heavy as you keep eating it. But also, you have some sliced radish kimchi to sort of combat or balance the fatty and heaviness of it, and to also add a little bit of heat and a little bit of acidity. And then you also have a sort of soaked lettuce wraps. I don't know exactly what's it called, but it's like less firm and more loose, but it's very good and very delicious to eat, like the rest of the food dishes that I mentioned. I would also like to add samgyeopsal to this, which is kind of like Korean barbecue, or you have Korean pork belly wraps as well. These two have some differences between them. As for the pork bellies, one you boil, and for the other one you grill. And the wraps are also very different, but all in all, they are both good. They have both pork bellies, and they both have this wrapping culture. So I just thought if I mentioned one of them, I would also have to mention the other one. The fourth favorite food that I love to eat is fried chicken. And it could be Korean fried chicken or American fried chicken. It doesn't really matter to me at all because I love all types of fried chickens out there. However, I will say there are different types of styles out there when it comes to fried chicken, and I just love how there's a lot of diversity of it. And also of making it because of coating and what types of starch or flour is put into it, which can make a huge difference in the chicken's flavor. There is the Korean version of yangnyeom chicken, which is like coating and seasonings of different types of spices and flavors. And also fried chicken is very popular in Korea as well. I heard from somewhere that fried chicken places are almost everywhere in Korea. And there's even a word or term called chimek, which is basically beer and chicken. And so like Korean people love fried chicken, and same with me. It is crispy and so good. And if you get some dipping sauce with that, it's just like game over. The fifth favorite food that I love to eat, some people or maybe a lot of people might not know this about me, but I really love to eat mac and cheese. I really love mac and cheese because I'm a big fan of cheese. It's also like one of my favorite American comfort foods. Even though sometimes it can be filling and heavy, it's like one of the foods that I don't have too much complaints about. I even don't mind the box mac and cheese or mac and cheese that is served in the restaurant. I like to eat it for fun, and sometimes I just like eating it because I just want to eat it. Loved it as a kid and even still loving it as an adult. This is something I don't mind at all having. It's not the most fancy smashy type of dish usually, but it's a dish that I really enjoy eating. The sixth favorite dish that I love eating is called kalbi. And what is kalbi, you might ask? It is called Korean beef short ribs that are marinated and grilled. The taste of this is smoky / sweet taste to it. I'm pretty sure a lot of Korean kids will love this dish because when I was young, I just loved eating this almost non-stop. It was kind of addicting, and I will say there are some little bits of fatness to it, which is bad for you health-wise, but it was so delicious. This dish just makes you want to eat more. This is the part where I love about beef. I'm usually a pork guy, but for this type of beef dish, it's looking pretty good. The seventh favorite food that I love to eat is clam chowder. My first experience of having this dish was at the beach seaport area, where there are a lot of seafood dishes and restaurants. This dish right here with the bread bowl, and inside you have this creamy, rich soup of goodness. This is definitely one of my favorite types of soup, hands down. It's just again so good and so delicious to eat. And eating this on a cold breeze with warm, creamy soup by your side, it's basically a win-win situation. Now at this point I was struggling a little, but I added the rest of the three to try and fill the blank, and the before food items of this list are 100% the ones that I would definitely pick, and so for the next one they're like kind of 95%, but they are still good and I still enjoy them. And so what are they? The eighth favorite food that I would like to introduce to you on this list is mandu, or dumpling. This one I picked because it's more nostalgic for me, and as a family we used to make dumplings, getting ready the dough and putting the fillings in it and trying to shape and create that decent looking dumpling. And that feeling we had when we were younger when making them, it was fun to do, had a lot of fun creating different types of dumpling shapes and styles, but it was also very good to eat. Mandu can be steamed, boiled, pan fried, or deep fried. My personal favorite is the pan fried version because underneath it gets a little bit crispy. Of course, other styles of cooking it is great, but I like to have it a little bit of crunch with my mandu. The ninth favorite food that I would like to introduce is going to be two versions of it. I'm adding in both of these because they are similar kind of pasta dishes, I think, and I'm not really sure of the distinction or the differences of it, but they are carbonara and Alfredo pasta. I love pasta dishes, but these two are creamy and the white sauces are kind of different, I guess, but to me, they may have both white sauces, but one is more heavy and the other one is more lighter. I like the carbonara because it's creamy and also has little bit chunks of bacon, which I love bacon, but as far as sauce goes, Alfredo pasta is a little bit more thicker, and so if I were to choose one, it would be the Alfredo pasta, but I really do like both pasta dishes. The last one, I guess, it's getting harder and harder, but I decided to go with pho as my last favorite food item or dish. I absolutely love pho because of the thin rice noodle, the rich flavor of the broth, and with the sliced meat, it just comes together very well with a lot of flavor. Of course, some MSG probably, but it sure is also a comfort food. It's perfect for chilly or cold seasons. Maybe if you get sick or have a little bit of a cold, this hot soup can help keep your body warm. I'm also a hoisin sauce type of guy. I usually don't put too much chili oil or sriracha in my pho as far as adding sauce goes. Another thing I love that I want to add to this as well is banh mi, which is a Vietnamese sandwich. There is a lot of different types of Vietnamese sandwiches, different types of banh mi, and there is one in particular that I really enjoy eating, but there is like so much more. And as a matter of fact, I would just like to mention some other foods that I like or that I can think of at the top of my head, which there is a lot, like onion rings, takoyaki, mitsubi, tacos, burgers, pizza, tonkatsu, keranjjigae or steamed egg, chicken adobo, barbecue ribs,
one eternity later,
steak, and sometimes a lot of Thai dishes as well, which is quite interesting because it has a sour taste sometimes, but there are obviously many more delicious foods out there. It was very hard selecting to choose this list, but I will say for the first 7 selection, it is quite solid so far. But who knows, things can change. There might be other foods later on that I might come to like more, and that's why I really love to try new things. There are sometimes some food items that I am not a big fan of, but I'm not that picky, but I enjoy tasting different new types of cuisine in the world. So yeah, that will be my list of my 10 favorite foods of all time so far. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video, share the video, subscribe, turn that notification on so you don't miss a video, and comment down below. Did you enjoy this video? Did you not enjoy this video? Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.